And so we have finally come to the last physical console that Xbox will ever release. Now, me personally, I was hoping to be the last one. Am I right? Am I right? So I also realized that I missed one Xbox One game. So we're going to be starting off with two collector's editions. One of them being Xbox One only. The other one, going Xbox One and Series X. But of course, there's not too many games in this section. I try and phrase, or I guess like not phrase, go about my Series X collecting in the sense of if it's a third party game and I want to get it on the Series X, just to say that I have Series X game. Played a solid amount of these, so I'm excited to get to them and let you guys know what I think. Starting up with that Xbox One game, I've got Song of the Deep. Now, I got this solely because it came into the store. My now boss slash the owner at the time was like, "Hey, like this looks pretty cool." Just came in, and I was like, this does look pretty cool." But as you'll see, there you go, right here, it's made by Insomniac, and every single Insomniac Xbox game, or I guess like Insomniac game that's not of a major franchise I'm not aware of, always interests me, especially when it comes from this generation, because it felt like Insomniac was really trying to do a push where they were like, let's try and see if we can make more games outside of our regular wheelhouse of Ratchet and Clank. And I think Ratchet and Clank was the only one at this point before Spider Man, before the Marvel games, so I should say. So yeah, I'm interested in, or I was interested in Song of the Deep when I saw it in stores, and it was a collector's edition steelbook. And you know me, I'm an absolute sucker for steelbooks. And if you don't know, now you know. No more heroes for the Xbox Series X and Xbox One. This one is still wrapped up. I got this one off of Amazon. It was mad cheap during Black Friday, and you know me, I love buying games that I have not touched yet, or I have no intention to touch. So No More Heroes, sealed, big box edition. I was like, whoa, I really want to get to this. And I have No More Heroes on the Wii, and I have now No More Heroes on the Xbox. So I'm excited to eventually get to the Xbox version when I got the time. But as of right now, No More Heroes 3 Day 1 Edition. It's not been played, as you can clearly tell by the wrappings. Starfield. Now, I couldn't have an Xbox Series X and not get Starfield. I think this was around the time I first got my Series X, and I was like, oh man, like time to jump into like the meat and potatoes of the Xbox Series X. What are we cooking with? Whole time, Starfield was really mid. I have played this, and I dropped it like probably like 5 hours in because I was like, this to say it's space Skyrim isn't even accurate because like at least Skyrim has like a charm to it that like has me think occasionally like, oh man, like I should give Skyrim another chance. Like I should like try and like actually finish it up. And even then, I put a cool 17 to 20 hours into Skyrim. It's safe to say that even though I didn't beat it, I played Skyrim, right? So I guess you could say I didn't play Starfield because I only got 5 hours in, but I'm content with not having the label of playing Starfield because Starfield is just really dull. So I don't know what else to say about it. So I think Space Skyrim is a little disingenuous. It's really only said because it's Bethesda. I think this could have had hella potential, but it just felt really dull, man. I have no idea what else to tell you about it. Um, I know there are some Starfield truthers, but I don't get it, honestly. I'm just being frank. Next up, Sonic X Shadow Generations. Woo! Woo! This is one of my favorite games of all time, solely because it's just Sonic Generations, but you added, of course, the Shadow Story mode. It's kind of funny because after playing this, I was like, I think I like the Shadow Story mode more than base Generations because Sonic Generations used to just be my favorite Sonic game, period. And it kind of feels almost like a cheaty type of answer, like an answer where it's like, okay, like, does that really 100% count? Because Sonic Generations is built on the back of Giants, because it's just all these different callbacks. But at the same time, I'm like, I think it kind of counts because you have these 2D levels now of 3D different worlds, and like, I don't know. I like Sonic Generations a lot, but Shadow Generations is absolutely baller because it feels almost like kind of vindicated in the sense of like we looked at all the cool stuff we did with Shadow in the early 2000s, and we decided that you guys are wrong. We're gonna keep doing weirdo stuff, and we're gonna bring it up to like an 11 this time, minus the guns, of course. But the Black Doom powers or the Black Arm powers, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's just it's gas, man. It's gas. And I'm really, 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 really hoping that more people are jumping on the Shadow Generations train eventually, especially as time goes on, and going, you know what? I think that was one of the greatest Sonic games of all time. I think I already hear some of that right now, but that's just how I feel. And it was nice to like actually play through Sonic Generations on something that could really handle it. My PC now can handle it, but by the time I like built my PC, I wasn't interested in playing Sonic Generations again. But it's crazy, man. I think I generally prefer Shadow Generations over the base game. So next up, I've got Scarlet Nexus. Now, I played a little bit of this. It didn't draw my attention too much. I do want to get back to it, but it felt very basic, like you know, sci-fi anime type SAO, like almost like just kind of like an SAO Gun Gale Online like branch of anime where like they're kind of I forget who did the animation for that arc of SAO, but like um, they all kind of look very similar like type of like story. Someone's gonna understand what I'm talking about. But the thing with Scarlet Nexus is that I think that the gameplay is fine. I'm curious to see like if it gets a little deeper than that. But off the little bit I played, I just wasn't really feeling it, and I want to kind of do a little bit better of a job of interacting with the game to the point where I feel confident enough to say this is not for me. I'm dropping it, and that is that. So instead of being like, like this wasn't for me, I don't think, but I kind of want to get back to it. So yeah, Resident Evil Village. Now I'm not really too interested in getting to this game solely because I had watched a friend play Resident Evil Village. Two friends play Resident Evil Village actually, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I don't not really concerned with playing this game on my own. There are people who are mad into horror games, mad into horror movies, horror everything. I've never really been that type of person. I've had friends that are super into horror stuff, but I've never really super been into that type of stuff, to be honest. And it's crazy too because, again, as I probably mentioned before on the channel, like one of my favorite games of all time is Silent Hill 2. So it's just kind of very interesting that I'm not really that interested in exploring much of the genre that isn't Silent Hill. Well, that's not true. Everything in this genre that's a PS2 game, I'm interested in trying out because there's something about the PS2 era's graphics, like that generation of console gaming, and the graphics presented in there that I'm like, it's just the horror games here. Like it really does that for me. The moment you start doing hyper realistic horror, you just kind of lose me. So, but next up, I've got the Resident Evil 4 remake. That sticker residue really is, it gets me. Uh, the Resident Evil 4 remake. Now, I want to play the original Resident Evil 4, so that's kind of the main reason that I have not touched that game. I do have the original Resident Evil 4 on GameCube, so I'm excited to eventually play it on there. But again, as I mentioned before, not a huge horror person, so that's kind of the main reason why I have not gotten to any of the Resident Evil games yet, aside from one. I played a little bit of the first game, and I kind of just immediately bounced off of it because I was like, I don't know. But I do want to eventually give it a good old college try, but it has not happened yet. So, Persona 5 Royal. Now, Persona 5 Royal is one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. It is an absolute banger of a video game, banger of an RPG, banger of a story. I did not play it on the Series X, so I'm not insane and I don't deserve to go to jail. I played it on the Nintendo Switch, where I think is kind of the best place to play it because a game that is 100 hours long, I can't sit in front of a console and do a game like that, right? I think there's some aspects of it that are maybe a little appealing to some people. Like I'm playing Persona 3 Reload on my PS5, so I mean I can kind of get it. But at the same time, though, it just was one of those moments where I was like, this really feels like a Switch game. So I don't know if it's the color scheme or something, but like I was like, this feels like a Switch game. So there's so much I can talk about with Persona 5 Royal. Just everything from the characters, the gameplay loop, just super addicting, super fun. That third semester, just an absolute banger of a time. Persona 5 is truly a game that everyone should just play. It's a gaming classic. It's not just one of those things where I'm like, if you love RPGs, you should play this. I think generally everybody can play Persona 5 and have a good time. And there's very few games I feel that way about. Even a good amount of my favorite games of all time, like Fire Emblem, Sly Cooper, Pokemon games, like I don't feel that way about. But I feel that way about Persona 5. I feel like everyone can play this game and have a phenomenal time. So, rant over. Love P5. I got it on the Xbox because it's a steelbook. So I was like, I mean, you know me again, Steelbook guy. So Penny's Big Breakaway. Now another Xbox game that I did not play on the Xbox. I played it on the Switch, and I played it when it shadow dropped on that one direct because I was like, all right, this is made by the Mania devs, I think. Hold on. I think it is made by the Mania devs, but they're just under like a different dev studio because I don't think Evening Star was like the studio name attached to Mania. But Penny's Big Breakaway, incredible, incredible indie game. At first, I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. That's mostly because, wait a minute, I'm just kind of mashing buttons. I need to like actually pay attention to how I'm building my momentum. And eventually, the game got a lot better once I started paying attention to that. So with Penny's Big Breakaway, I think that I haven't really thought that much about it since the game came out. But one thing I think that's cool about the game is that even though it has kind of that Mania inspired flair to it in its like level design in certain aspects, like, and that's more, I think that's more so if you're thinking about like the UI of Mania and like Studiopolis Zone, but like I think that Penny's Big Breakaway is a great pickup if you're a Sonic fan and you want to play a game that is kind of somewhat inspired, somewhat. I picked it up on the Xbox Series X because I downloaded the game digitally on the Switch, and I thought the game was good enough that I was like, I want a physical copy of this game. And it was on Series X, and I was like, I need more Series X games because at that point I only had like 5. So I was like, I need more Series X games. So I did my thing and got. So I've got 2K26. Now my history with the NBA 2K franchise is a little all over the place, right? Primarily because with the 2K franchise, um, I kind of really fell off it after 2K20, and the only reason I played 2K20 was because it was the pandemic, and I was sitting inside my house, and one of my best friends was like, "Yo, we should just keep playing 2K anytime you have some free time," and I was like, that sounds like a great idea. I did not pick up 2K21, or no, I did. I picked up 2K21, but that was like digitally, and I played it for like probably like an hour. 2K22, same thing. Played it for an hour. I think I have picked up every 2K eventually at some point, but it's mostly to just engage with the multiplayer aspect with either people who come over or my cousins, during Thanksgiving. You guys already know the gist. You already know the gist. But 2K26 I got primarily because I have a PowerPoint night that I'm doing, right? Little experiment, right? And I need 2K26 for it. So that is kind of the main reason that I picked this game up. But I have not touched it and played it yet because life be life, and I haven't even had the time to work on that PowerPoint. So that's why it's there. Why did I not just get this for PS5? Again, same reason. I'd like to fill out the Xbox Series X collection. So is what it is. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Now, this is another game that I picked up on Black Friday, primarily because it was cheap. So I was like, I had to pick it up. Had to, being a really strong word. That's doing a lot of heavy lifting. But also, I think that was the first game that marked like the transition from being called Yakuza in the West to being Like a Dragon. I don't know if it was. I feel like it was another one before this though that was called Like a Dragon. So I don't know if it was the first one, but people said the game was good too. So that's also another reason why I copped it. And yeah, I want to eventually play a Yakuza game. People say that I would love it just off of someone that likes Persona, and there's this life sim social aspect of it is pretty cool. In addition to just like the main character being a nice goofball, but I have not gotten a chance to play any Yakuza games. So, but one day, one day. Immortals Phoenix Rising. Now, I was surprised this game got a Series X port, I guess bump up, because I think I remember this game coming out like in 2017, like 2018, around that time. But this game has kind of reminded me of Horizon, but unlike Horizon, where like I was like, oh, I am definitely interested in Horizon. I want to give this game a go. I was never interested in Immortals Phoenix Rising, and I got this game solely because it was so cheap used. That I was like, I feel like I should get this game, try it out. I haven't tried it out yet. Again, as I mentioned before, I'm not really that interested in this game. So it's sitting there, hopefully for the one day where I'm like, you know what? It's time. It's time that I completely adjust my entire way of thinking and just hop on Immortals Phoenix Rising. We'll see if that happens. Hogwarts Legacy. Oh boy. So Hogwarts Legacy. I remember when that game came out, and there was a whole lot of controversy around it because, again, J.K. Rowling being a infamously bigoted person, and people supporting Hogwarts Legacy because I've heard again because I haven't played it that it was a good game, and that people are like, you know what, like if you buy this game, then you support and endorse all of her views because you're putting money in her pocket, and then you have to go into the whole ethical consumption under capitalism. I'm not gonna get into all that. But overall, I'm going to talk about why I picked up Hogwarts Legacy. As because of that thing that I mentioned earlier, and not because of endorsing those views, but mostly because people said it was a good game. And I was like, well, I'm not into Harry Potter, but I think that at the end of the day, like if the game is good, the game is good, and people had really been gassed at this game to the point where people were like, "Oh, I think this should be Game of the Year." I don't think it was nominated in the year it came out because of all the bangers that came out that same year, but um, people said it was really, really good. So I was like, I really, really want to play it then. And so I got this pretty cheaply. I think that was a Black Friday thing. So yeah. Next up, I've got Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, GTA 5. I don't know if it's showed up on the channel yet in terms of any of the collection videos, but the thing about Grand Theft Auto 5 is that it's GTA 5, and that is probably the hmm, it's probably one of the most popular games of all time. I say probably as if like it's not like top five in sales. But the thing about GTA 5 is that I really, really wanted to play when I was younger. I was like, I really want to play this thing. I'm down to, eventually play this thing when I come of age because my household, I was not getting this game unless it was through my own funds, through my own means, and doing it that way. But GTA 5, I played a little bit of it. I played the online. I thought the online was really fun. And then I played a little bit of the story mode. I thought that was okay. But the online was kind of the thing I liked the most out of GTA 5. But I think I do want to hop into GTA 5 or a GTA game. San Andreas is kind of the one that like really has my attention more than anything else. But I think GTA 5 is probably the one I will go with because it seems closer to what the vision for 6 is going to be if 6 ever comes out. People say, oh, 6 never comes out, but 6 is going to come out. Whether it's broken or not, it will come out eventually. So there's just too much writing on it for it to not come out. Yeah, so GTA 5, man. To think that Grand Theft Auto would be the franchise that would spawn the biggest media release in human history, I think that's kind of crazy and cool at the same time. But yeah, Elden Ring. Now, I have gotten up to the character creation screen of Elden Ring, and then I realized, you know what? This game is so great that I cannot, in good consciousness, in good faith, touch this game without knowing that I'm going to put 100% of my backbone into it, 100% of my ganache talents into this game. So that's why I have not gone back to the game yet. But I have so many friends who love Elden Ring. They espouse the greatness of Elden Ring, how Elden Ring is phenomenal, how Elden Ring changed their lives, how Elden Ring cured their blindness, how Elden Ring got them a girlfriend. People are crazy about Elden Ring. And I hope that I'm also crazy about Elden Ring when I try it out. But as of right now, not at the moment. So I do think the intro or whatever is pretty funny though. Arise, ye tarnished, and the loathsome dung eater, like that stuff's just funny. But I've not actually gotten to Elden Ring yet to give truly concrete opinions on it. So Expedition 33. Oh my goodness. So if you digested any of my short form content on TikTok, which my TikTok is inactive now indefinitely. I just don't do so short form content anymore. But that's neither here nor there. But if you've been on my short form content, you would know kind of my general feelings about Expedition 33. If you look at my backlog, backlog.com/GanacheX, you will see my Expedition 33 review. I believe I gave it an 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5. And I gave it that primarily because I like Expedition 33 a lot. I think about Expedition 33 actually quite a lot. But I think that I'm not in love with it the same way that many people are. I don't think this is one of the greatest RPGs, of all time. I do think it's one of the greatest RPGs of the decade. We're halfway through the decade, so but I do think it's one of the greatest RPGs of the decade. I do think it deserved Game of the Year, of course, in the sense that also Silk Song and Hades 2 deserved Game of the Year. But I can definitively say that for Expedition 33 because I've completed and finished Expedition 33. I think the story is kind of like okay. I like the dilemma at the end, but that's mostly because like I like arguing. So it's just one of those things where it's like okay, like or I guess debating is a better term for that. I like debating. Anything that's like literally good bait, is just on me. So again, love 3 Houses discourse. So that's probably a sign that you already know where I'm coming from. But Expedition 33 is it's a great game, great RPG. Um, but I think overall, just the how do I put this? Um, the glaze was unwarranted and warranted at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes people act like around the time of release, people would have acted like if you said that you were like, offing their grandma or something. But like, I think now people have kind of mellowed out a little bit on it in the sense of like allowing opposite opinions. People still love Expedition 33. But I think in terms of allowing opposite opinions, people have kind of mellowed out on that. So, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, oh boy, man, a whole lot of bangers up in this collection. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The thing about DBSZ is that I remember when it got revealed, people were hyped, man. It was. I'm smiling because it was genuinely such a great time of just so much positivity and just good energy, good vibes. That's low key. I feel like the good vibes never last that long in gaming, low key. So there's always someone who's got something to say about something else. And but the thing about DBSZ is that like I remember when it came out and people were just like, oh, I'm gonna pre-order the special edition. That was me. I'm gonna pre-order special edition. I didn't end up doing that because I got this as a gift. But I was like, man, like this game is so hype, man. I'm so excited, man. Like Budokai is coming back, but like obviously it's gonna be like new thing, new banner underneath that. And people dropped the game, man. And I think it was mostly because of the balancing issues. People were like, oh, like this is gonna be like I think people said it was gonna be more accurate or something. I generally forget. But I did not play that much of Sparking Zero, probably 30 minutes to an hour of it, and I was like, not feeling it, man. I just don't know what it is. I'm not feeling it. I feel like Dragon Ball Fighters like changed my brain chemistry in terms of what I expect from Dragon Ball fighting games. So it was one of those moments where it's like, dang, man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but this is where it came out to. So um, I really just want a Fighters 2, something like that, because I feel like the Arena Fighter days of Dragon Ball are kind of over. I would really appreciate more of that 2.5D, or that's not 2.5D, 2D side scrolling Street Fighter Tekken action, but with Dragon Ball characters in it. That's my jam, man. Devil May Cry 5. Now, I've only played Devil May Cry 1. I still need to play 2. Even though what people will be saying about it, I still got to play 2. People love 3. I haven't heard that much about 4, actually. And 5, my brother actually played 5, and he was like, this is gas. So I'm really excited to eventually get to 5. I think 5 is like the most popular entry in the franchise, but I think it's mostly because it is a recent entry, but it's also a really good recent entry. I'm glad one of the, Hideki Kamiya franchises, recent entries are really good. Bayonetta 3. Anyway, I'm really excited to get to Devil May Cry 5. Next up, we got Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty Ultimate Edition. It includes Phantom Liberty. So it's Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. I've played 2 to 3 hours of Cyberpunk 2077, and I liked it. Not enough to continue, but I liked it. So I want to eventually get back to it because this was like the only copy left of this edition of Cyberpunk. So I really want to get back to it. And it's funny because now that the Switch port is out, or the Switch 2 port is out, I thought about this game a little more than I have recently. So I'm excited to eventually get back to it and be like, oh, okay, like I want to try this out. And finally, we've got the Callisto Protocol. I know nothing about this game aside from the fact that like it kind of looks like Death Stranding, but some people said that the game is like worth trying out. I got it fairly cheap used, so I was like, this can be the first um, you know Series X game that I pick up. So, but that's all I got to say about the Callisto Protocol. And so that will do it for not just the Xbox Series X collection, but also just for Xbox as a whole. This is a little bittersweet because I think that looking back on Xbox's history as I go through these games, it has really made me sad about the fact that Xbox is effectively exiting the hardware race. I don't think Project Scarlet or whatever it's called, or Project Nexus, whatever that thing is going to be a commercial success. I think it's basically going to be, Steam Deck level sales pretty much. And I really think that Xbox has shot themselves in the foot completely by acting like exclusives don't matter. Of course, the fall of Xbox is a little more complicated than if they just forgot about this one thing. They would have been straight, because truly the Xbox One is a was a masterclass in a big colossal mess up. And who knows? Maybe if Sony made those exact same mistakes, then we'd be talking about flip flop destinies right now. But as of right now, this is just where the cards were dealt with for Xbox. So I just want to say thank you to the viewer, of course, for sticking with me and watching the vid, but also to Xbox as well for the really awesome gaming memories. Wherever we go from now, just know you will be missed. Even if you somehow manage to survive with the Scarlet slash Nexus or whatever, you will still be missed because of what you used to be. So, but without further ado, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you all next time.